Alright, this is Reality Supreme Being, also known as HRM, Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte. A new development has taken place. I know that you have seen, some of you have seen if you click on Reality Supreme Being on YouTube, you'll see that I've had my problems and I've talked about all of them. And I said that this is an ongoing problem. Well, at this place called the storage place that I'm at, me and several friends are at, they have contracts that are unconscionable. People are forced into these places like I have been because they have no place left to go, and then they have to abide by all these excessive rules, unreasonable, unconscionable rules. Any lawyer would tell you that these contracts are unconscionable and that they have bits and pieces in them that violate not only your civil rights, that you're waiving a lot of your rights, but you're waiving them because you're pressured into it by the city, by county forces, by all this crazy, lousy, excessive rules and regulations. There's no standard. Everybody can push you around whenever they want to because there's so many rules, regulations, and laws that they can pick and choose at their own whim. They can pick and choose whatever they want to violate your right to privacy, your right to, you waive your rights when you sign these contracts. And yet, the city, the state, the local officials don't care because they have their own contracts and their rules that they have to abide by. And all these rules are excessive. Like I said, there's no simple, underline the word, simple standard. So here they are. I contacted ABC, the 1-800 hotline, they call it, and I told them about the situation, how there's even a couple of disabled people that are being harassed. And I'm going to mention the names because the vice president of the company and the district manager, who in the next video I will mention their names, and I have the phone right here that they can call me on at any time. And I talked to the vice president yesterday. They said, oh, they're going to see if they could get me a truck to help me move. Where am I going to move? They prohibited a friend of mine from renting a storage, made it hard for him to rent. He rented it because he just needed a few things stored, and he said that he's a friend and family. So all family members in our group are friends and family members. So the contract doesn't say anything about, it's not specific about family, friends. It just says you can't share the space with anyone. Well, hey, what is that? How far does that go? If a family group goes and the family has 100 people in them, do they have to list 100 people? There isn't enough room on the computer even of their records, their software, to list 100 people. So, besides that, that's not the point. The point is, when push comes to shove, their corporate policy means more than any form of compassion that they have. Now, I was at another storage place last year, and I moved there, and we remember, we all live on budgets. We don't, if anything happens bad or we get sick, we're not going to be able to make the rent on a lot of these excessive storage. These storage places charge twice the amount per square foot that a regular business park, an industrial little warehouse would cost here in Canoga Park or Woodland Hills or Chatsworth. Now, all of this is set up by the owners, the landlords who own all these business buildings, who have to pay mortgages to the banks. We all understand how it works. But when people are having problems already in a bad economy, instead of this guy on Channel 2 who's checking out the drunk people drinking on duty for DWP, and here I am, a person who's been abused, has more than 200 videos talking about how they took my cars, my boats, my motorhomes, different sections of the city, and when you want to sue any of them, you have to sue the city. And you know what chance you have of suing the city? Zero, especially when you don't have a blood-sucking attorney that you become a slave to, paying $300 an hour just to fight for your civil rights. I thought all those people buried in Arlington Cemetery, crosses that you can see for miles, I thought they died for that reason, to protect our freedoms and liberty. And Obama and Bush and Clinton, they're all puppets. And so are they puppets here at the city level. And the corporate policies and the computers are now making puppets out of people. Oh, you can't stick your hand in there. If you do, you'll contradict yourself, and your workers below you will call you a contradictory CEO. Well, people contradict themselves all the time. It doesn't mean that makes them bad or it makes their policy bad. It means that they had to extend a certain privilege for a special situation. But no, they don't want to do that. So they're trying to lock me out. How do you lock out a helper? If a person is renting, it doesn't matter. If John Doe is renting a storage space and they hire me to go in there and work, they have to go in and sign my name in on that thing so that tells them that it's okay for me, and I'm sure that's something to do with insurance. But it doesn't matter. I've been there on and off for more than a year. And instead of working things out with me, they're not calling me on Friday the 13th, obviously. And they're, blocking, I guess, entrance, yeah. Oh, you're not, if you have somebody else's code, you're not supposed to use that code to get in. Well, that's kind of ridiculous. What if that person's code happens to be one of our family members? Now, I know I sound like I'm playing semantics and games by calling everybody a family member, but isn't that what the human race is? Aren't they all supposedly family members? Aren't they all Homo sapiens? Oh, but it's not specific. I see. It has to be blood relative. It doesn't say that in the contracts. So this place is called Storage, etc. And I've seen a lot of stuff go on there that really needs really heavy attention. And you can call me the undercover, instead of the undercover boss, you can call me the undercover referee. Because I look at these wrongs that happen, and then I compare that wrong to how they're treating other people, and I'm going, this is not fair. This sounds like what was happening to me all along over the last 20 years. Now, I've had 18 people look at my last webcam, which was a few days ago, and I filmed it there at the storage. And again, it's the same thing. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to work something out with you. Now, supposedly, this lady, who's another family member, who rented a storage there, if we don't have her stuff out by the 10th, and then she has to pay for the 10 days that she went over, that's the grace period, which she was willing to do. But now they find out that I'm connected to her, she's connected to me, and then we're connected to someone else that rented another storage place, and then who cares? You're getting your money. You're getting twice the amount per square foot that they give for most of these business places. But when I call this business place across the street from Starbucks here, they want all this extra criteria. They're acting the same way Storage, etc. is. Oh, we need this requirement and that requirement before we approve you to move onto the property and give you a contract. Oh yeah, we're talking about, this is only 8 minutes, we're talking about excessive mistreatment and abuse. And since some of these people here at the Storage, etc. are senior citizens, some of them are not getting their discount, which they're supposed to get, but only if they mention it. Well, they can't mention it if there's no sign on the property saying that a senior citizen discount is available. I then asked the office many times, well, since you give senior citizens a discount, why don't you give people on disability a discount? If they can show and prove that they're disabled, then they should get a discount too. But then, who cares? That's not the point. The point is how you treat people. And if you're not getting along with someone, like in my case, one of my videos say, if the government of the United States doesn't like me, why didn't they pay to have me leave the United States? I would have gladly left more than 20 years ago, rather than have my cars, boats, trailers impounded and taken away over and over and over again, and keeping me in the poorhouse. The number of times that I have been attacked, I would probably have definitely more than $100,000, $200,000 saved somewhere. Certainly wouldn't be in a bank here in the United States. It'd probably be in an offshore account, because I don't trust this country. Not after all the abuse I've been through. And instead of people being a friend, kind and considerate, this Chris Lyons at Storage, etc. says, oh, he helps out his school and he goes to these volunteer programs, but now he's not returning my calls. And neither is his district manager, Adam Hattenberg, which, by the way, he's a real jerk. You know, he doesn't even say hi or friendly. He had a manager named David Arroyo who worked there. He got a 35-cent raise because the bathroom door that I fixed for David wasn't fixed fast enough. So he got a 35-cent raise. It pissed David off so much that he called a friend back east, and he actually got full medical service, double the price, the salary that he was being paid at storage, etc., and that's why David left. And David Arroyo was one of the best managers you could find anywhere, because he would bend the rules if necessary if he knew that person was a good risk to be there as a person renting a storage. And me and David talked many times. A storage manager is much like a bartender. They hear every story you could imagine, every hardship story that has happened, especially here in the city of Los Angeles. And many of the hardship stories caused by the very city officials that make the rules and regulations for these people to be in business. So, good, it's only 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes. So here I am, pouring my heart out. I'm working in 100-degree heat, hotter than that, for the last 4 days, actually the last 10, 12, 13 days. And instead of someone saying, oh, poor guy, I should call senior citizens, the people that say senior citizen abuse. It's considered senior citizen abuse to subject someone to this kind of treatment, especially when they're working out in 100-degree weather. Oh, no, I don't see anybody busting their kazoo to come out and help me. No, there's no trucks, no cars. There's not even one person after 3 years on YouTube saying, hey, C's, yeah, you've really been screwed over. Here's an ocean-going container. We'll fill it. We'll put everything in, pay all these bills off, and you can go off to some other country. I've wanted to go for the last 20 years. I've been trapped here by what the city does to me every time I have an altercation with either them or a private party or both. Or nosy neighbors or nosy citizens. People who can't keep their nose in their own business. So here I am at 12 minutes talking about all the bad stuff that's happening, and instead of there being a ringing that's going on right now, my phone, there's nothing. When I called ABC's hotline, put it in recording, we'll see if we want to pay attention to that. They don't care. ABC, CBS, NBC, they care more about, this person's drinking and driving for DWP. Or the Secret Service, we're screwing some broads over there before Obama got there. I mentioned that on one of my other videos. And I told the front office, the little smart guy who thinks he's really going to get ahead in this company that's so cheap they give 35-cent raises. How do you like that? I've never heard of a 35-cent raise. In an economy like this, where it costs tons of money to rent a regular apartment, man, $1 or $2 is considered cheap. So 35-cent raise. And by the way, I helped David fix that. And I told Chris Lyons all this story, and he, of course, told me his story about how he helps people through his school and all that. And he commended me. Well, if he commended me so much, how come I didn't see some real action this morning after I talked to him last night? No, there isn't. You know why? Because people, when you uncover the covers, when you take off all of the orange peels and the stuff that they're hiding under, they really don't have a compassionate heart. When push comes to shove, they care more about that crappy piece of paper that you're not going to be able to take with you when you die. Your money, your property, nothing. They care more about the rules and regulations of their corporate policy than they care about a person. And that is evil. Plain and simple. Evil. And it shows and proves all my 200 videos 100% accurate. And I challenge anyone to look at all those videos and go, I don't understand why Caesar hasn't blown up a building or fly a plane into a building. I don't understand why he hasn't done that. Because I'm not stupid, first of all. And because, second of all, I'm a presidential candidate. And third of all, I want this YouTube to be heard by everybody in the whole damn world to know just how evil America really is. Because it is. Down to every core and every individual, except maybe the children who haven't been contaminated yet by the evil policies and constricts that go on by all these people. Oh, they can say hi to you to your face and all that, but imagine what they say to you when you turn your back. All right, so now I have to deal with that problem, and my stuff is half outside, half inside. Now I can't finish moving inside because what use is there? I only have like 15, 16, 17 days till the end of the month. Now my friend, who's also a family member, Larry, He doesn't want to stay there. He says, if that's how they treat people, I don't want to be there. Let's move out of there. Well, now they're trying to block me from being in there so I can, Larry and me and everybody, whoever's involved, can try to help in this 100-degree weather with no truck. We can't afford a truck. We don't have that kind of money right now. Remember, we're all on a budget. We have to wait till the first of the month to get any kind of money. And then even that can be compromised at any time, too. So, that's the story. Digest that, America, and tell me whether you have the right president in office and that healthcare system is correct. Because I mentioned something about that, too, how there should be an automatic negation of any law as soon as enough people vote on it and say that it's not working. Because that just confuses the problem even worse. All right, I got to go and see what I can do and see if I can contact Larry.